11:05 on NBC. This is Spirit Cars, and today we're here with Tweety. This is Alan's car. It has been in the making for, I guess, 20 years. He bought it and gathered parts and had some stuff done to it and had the chassis powder coated and the motor painted. I think what we'll go over today is fitting the body to the frame. But in the meantime, it's like one of the guys come in. Here's his pile of parts. I guess this pile of parts has been in the collection stage for a long time. So Alan brought us the car. It actually sat here quite a while before we even looked at it to give him a price. So we've been working it piece by piece by piece now. This is an old, a total anniversary car. Not our body, but we took and put our insert in it. We did a video of that, I think, a while back on this car. And then it had a wood floor in it. It was a wood floor. So we took and glassed over the bottom of the floor, glassed the inside, so now it's sandwiched in fiberglass. So it's clean and it's slick. We had to fit the steering column. I mean, it had a hole for that, but the steering column didn't work, and the brake pedal. When we went to go ahead and put the the body on and kind of look at it, what we got going on for the inside for the gas pedal and everything, we just wanted more room for your feet. I think we talked about that too in a video if you look back a few videos. But you can kind of see this hump that we built. So we built this hump in here. Can you get in here and get closer to this? Made all these curves. So this fits the transmission pretty close. Cut it out, dug it in. Now the reason this hump is here, so we got more room for our space. We still needed this to get around the transmission that little bit, but huge. That little bit of effort is going to make this car so much more comfortable to drive. It's just way worth the effort. We're making the bottom slick. I mean, it doesn't take that much extra time. Whether it's a show car or not, you look under this car and it'll be just as shiny and underneath the car as it is on top. Some of these areas that you don't see, we're probably overkilling. He's cleaning up some of a little bit of Bondo there, and some of the rougher areas. And in the back here, what we're going to do, we went and made a top. So this bed has got a hard cover on it. It's going to have a flip top gas cap right in the center of that. It had some cutouts here for the original frame for the shocks to come down. But the frame that Alan has made, it's not a total performance frame. It's kind of a one-off frame. It had inbound shocks. Didn't need that, so we cleaned that up. All these, you don't see a lot of it, but you do see some of that come around this way. So you got your rear end is going to kind of sit in there a little bit. Your frame has to tuck in. It had to go back a little bit. The body had to go back onto the chassis just to make it work right. We're going to put some kind of a flush mount light on the bottom here. All that's left is straightening up around the back of the bed just to make sure all the lines are clean and crisp and the same. If it's 1 3/4 here, it needs to be 1 3/4 here and all the way across. Otherwise you can see that kind of stuff and it just ultimately sticks out like a sore thumb. Anyway, back to the very beginning, I was like, one of the guys comes like, did you see these carburetors? I was like, no, but so I didn't know what to look. You never know what to expect. Whoa, so I've seen those and it's like Tweety. This thing is a Tweety for sure. So sat for a long time. One of the things we did was we kind of went around it. Alan said, well, we probably need to send all the front end out for re-chroming. It's pretty good. We're going to clean it up. There may be a couple pieces to re-chrome, but when they sit for such a long time, especially if it gets damp, you never know. You can kind of see the valve covers were a little rusty there, and it wouldn't turn over. I said, we better check this out, and it was locked up. So we put some more Marvel Mystery Oil in there and opened it up and really gently worked it. So anyway, we got to turn it over, so that's a good thing. The motor looks very clean, but if you get a little bit of rust in the cylinder, it's something that you don't want to do. All the spark plugs and the exhaust were left open. So if you're going to leave a motor for a long time, man, I'd put some oil in the cylinders. Make sure you leave the spark plugs in, tape off the, for the exhaust if you don't have headers or something on it. do the best you can to at least keep the moisture out of that motor while it's while it's being in storage. Gonna have to go through it. The frame has been powder coated and it all looks pretty good. The way the grill shell sits, this is all hidden, and the grill shell sits out in front, so it looks pretty good. Look at it here, it's kind of, maybe not the look you want if it was gonna have to be exposed, but it won't be exposed. It gets a 32 style grill shell on top of that. We're gonna repaint the motor to get a better match on the frame. See, it didn't have a flywheel for whatever reason. It got put together without the flywheel in there, so we're gonna have to pull the motor and trans apart anyway, put a flywheel in. But other than that, it's put the rear end together. It's pretty much a straightforward build. It'd be pretty cool. So anyway, I thought I'd give you an update on this way Alan can see his car a little bit better, and Tweety's coming together. It should be painted this week, I hope. Spend the time to clean up the bottom a little bit if you can. A lot of cars have it's just an open, you bought a T-bucket, you can get it for $600, no doors, no insert, just no floor, no nothing. I don't know what ours even cost. We do sell it that way. Then people put a plywood floor in it. Over the years, if your car has basically just got a plywood floor in it and you're out driving and it gets wet, it's gonna deteriorate for sure. So even if you don't have the ability to chop or do this, you can hand lay it. Soak it really good with resin, hand lay some glass over it, really seal that thing. Even if you don't seal it with fiberglass or polyester resin, use some kind of I don't know, maybe a marine paint or some sort of paint that will stick and get into the wood. It's my personal recommendation that you don't just have a car with a wood floor in it. I mean, it might be fine if you leave it in your garage and you never get caught in the rain, but you get a floor wet, especially plywood, it's gonna swell and not be good. So that's kind of it today. We're gonna get back to tomorrow probably. We've been putting a chassis, a 23 chassis together, so I think we'll work on that again tomorrow. Put some shocks or something on it. Got a couple things to do that. I think I got my air conditioner stuff coming it might be here today for Dorothy. So we may show you Dorothy we got a whole line of cars going down here. This is kind of our assembly row here. So we got a few coming together, so we'll work on those. And other than that, take a deep breath. It's all good. Spring's here. It'll all be over soon. We'll all get full speed back in the hot rod building, and the show season will be here at some point this summer. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.